Let's talk to Julian Jessop, independent economist and fellow at the IEA. And, of course, a man who has predicted many of the things that have happened economically in the past few months. Because, let's face it, the economy, Julian, was a lot better back in June than it is now, wasn't it?
Yeah, things are looking pretty grim. For a start, the economy is no longer growing at all.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we now have news that inflation is picking up and unemployment is starting to rise as well. And of course, all of this was before we knew exactly what was in the October budget. And that's hit confidence further. It spooked the markets. And we've got big tax increases and other large increases in business costs coming in April next year. So a long period of uncertainty to see how that unfolds as well.
But also the budget has been unrolled now. We're still talking about it, which is never a good sign. And nobody I can find really anywhere, apart from inside the beltway, as it were, in Downing Street, thinks any of it was any good.
Well, that's the problem. I sort of understand what the strategy was. I mean, if you believe that there was a big black hole in the public finances that need to be filled, then it was probably a good idea to get all of the bad news out of the way in one go. But they've ended up, spooking everybody. People were expecting a tough budget, but nobody was anticipating 40 billion of tax increases, and particularly tax increases focused on employers' national insurance, which, whatever the government may say, is clearly a tax on working people. I mean, wages are lower than otherwise, prices are higher. And it has a particularly bad impact, actually, on a lot of smaller businesses in sectors like retail and hospitality when combined with the big increase in the national minimum wage. So the things look set to get, worse before they get better.
I think so. And I mean, how much worse, I suppose, is the $64 million question, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, one thing that we're pretty confident is going to happen is that inflation is going to rise further in the short term.
Yeah.
And that means the Bank of England will be slower to cut interest rates than it would otherwise have been. I think the hope there has to be that pickup in inflation is limited and temporary, and the Bank of England still has the confidence to cut interest rates. I think that would reassure people a little bit. It's possible that the broader economy is strong enough to weather the increases in business costs and tax that are coming. So it is possible that this would be a short-term hit, and there might be some long-term benefits from fixing the public finances. But I've got to say, nothing is pointing in that direction. Confidence, or what economists sometimes call animal spirits, are really, really important. And as you say, nobody's got a good word to say about the budget, whether that's consumers, businesses, investors in
Farmers.
the city don't like it either. Farmers, of course, and other particular groups that are being hit hard at the moment as well. So sometimes it's important to look beyond sort of the averages and look at individual groups who are particularly hard hit, and farmers are only just one example there.
Yeah, absolutely right. Julian, great to talk to you. We're at short time today, but we'll come back to you again soon. Julian Jessop, independent economist and fellow at the IEA, saying interest rates will rise, unemployment will go up, and, of course, inflation is not going to go down anytime soon. Question is, how far up is it going to go?